And joining us now is Paolo Sorbello, English language editor at the independent media outlet Vlast.kz. Hello and welcome to TVP World.
Hello, thank you.
So the SCO is likely to be seen by the authorities in Moscow as a way of showing everyone that no, we're not isolated, we are in fact very welcome on the international arena. But is it really substantiated by anything that Russia can gain from this summit? Who is actually going to be the most important here and who stands to benefit the most?
Well, the SCO has been a way for Russia, China, and the Central Asian countries to get together and focus on specific topics such as extremism, separatism, and terrorism, and that's the way it's been for the last 20 plus years, and this is a summit where, like you mentioned, everyone is essentially slated to tell the world that they're not isolated, that they're cooperating, in fact, that they are gaining from closer connections to each other. This is indeed, at this specific time, a moment in which the leaders of almost 45% of the world's population meet and talk and show the world that the idea is basically that they would tell the world that this is a multipolar order and they don't stand for just the kind of Washington, Brussels led world order of democracy and liberal democracy and let's call it market capitalism.
Now, when talking about SCO, now the majority of people focus on Russia, and because of its engagement in the full-scale Russian invasion in Ukraine. However, we do have to talk about the fact that it's also an economic cooperation, and it's high on the agenda for this entity as such. So, of course, discussing boosting trade and economic ties, I want to know, do you think that perhaps China is taking center stage in it, and it's in fact slowly but surely taking over leadership over this entity?
China was the leader of this entity since the start. It was, I mean, that's the reason why it's the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, not the Samara Cooperation Organization. The idea is that China has essentially used this to enter the stage of the negotiation of world order, and this is essentially a platform where diplomacy plays as an umbrella, like you mentioned, for trade and cooperation. But this is essentially a diplomatic forum where they essentially discuss the way that almost the theoretical way in which the world, according to them, should look like.
So now, given that many world leaders are arriving at this summit, with the exception of Prime Minister Narendra Modi due to the ongoing conflict between China and India, do you think that President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev is going to be the big winner here? Because he'll be basking in the spotlight, he'll be able to elevate Kazakhstan's diplomatic position. Is it likely that he's going to leverage this summit in domestic policy as well?
Yeah, Tokayev always does this. It's one of his kind of medals, if you like. He keeps portraying Kazakhstan as a hub for diplomacy, as a hub for these kind of meetings. It's a place where Putin can go, as opposed to many other places in the world, given the charges against him. It's an important tool for him to play. Now, how much this matters to the population in Kazakhstan, that's another conversation. I mean, Tokayev has played the diplomat in his tenure as a president, but that I would say has played a much different level as opposed to domestic policy, and I don't think it has had the effect on society that perhaps his administration thought it would have.
Paolo Sorbello was our guest today. Thank you so much for providing your expert insights.
Thank you.